Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Our webinar will begin in just a moment, but we wanted to share this video of Gregory from South Africa talking about his experience teaching in the USA with EPI. So here is his story.
I grew up in South Africa, a place called East London, and just the coastline's really beautiful there. It's a lovely part of the world to grow up. I was coming to the end of my time in Abu Dhabi and I was looking at what my next move would be. The first thing that I researched teaching in the States, EPI came up, and the application, I thought, oh, this looks interesting. To be honest, I haven't regretted it yet, so it's been a good move. One of the things I've always appreciated being a teacher is having good relationships with students, but I didn't realize how important those relationships were in terms of helping you to maintain sort of discipline or behavior management, things like that. And I think though that coming to the States, it's made it really even more prevalent in my thinking, that in terms of just establishing those connections with students, getting the most out of them, helping them to get to their potential, because if you know what they're into and what they want, you can motivate them. I think certainly establishing those relationships with students is very important, as well as establishing those relationships with your staff as well. And it kind of makes the workplace a much more fun place to be if you've got good relationships with your teachers and your colleagues and your principals. I've really grown to appreciate that. Every workplace has its own challenges and its own dynamics, but you don't have to solve everything on the first day or the first week, and really you've got time here, you've got the people in your organization that can help you and guide you to sort of gradually improve yourself. I think cultural exchange is just being open to meeting people in your day-to-day lives, being able to share experiences, being able to learn from the people that are around you. I think it's just being open to that opportunity and just being proud of where you're coming from and being willing to learn of other people's cultures and being a good listener. We've got to be aware of the bigger picture, and we've got to take action in terms of that. If you're in a position to get into this program, I would definitely say you should go for it, because there's so much you can learn. You're going to get a lot of good experience from your school. You're going to get that life experience of moving and living in another country, and that can then open actually other doors for you in terms of maybe if you want to go and teach in another country at another point in time. And it's not so much about the beautiful places that you get to see when you're here, but again, it's about making those friendships that you wouldn't really be able to have, and sharing experiences with other people that are on the same program, but also it definitely develops character, and you grow as a teacher and you grow as an individual. Life is what you make it. Right? So grab it with both hands.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How the EPI Process Works. My name is Jessica, and I work as a content coordinator for Educational Partners International. I'm from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working for EPI, I taught English at the community college level. Today I'll be talking with you about what you can expect in our program from when you begin your application to when you come to the United States. We also want you to take this opportunity to ask any questions that you have about our process. You can ask them in the comment box, and we will answer them throughout the presentation. Please keep in mind that we won't be able to answer questions about your specific application for privacy reasons. All of those should be emailed to team@teachwithepi.com. Today we will be explaining EPI's program and give you an overview of everything from the application to becoming a cultural ambassador. By the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of each step in the process. If you're joining us for the first time, we are Educational Partners International, or EPI for short, and we are a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers to teach in K 12 schools in the United States. Our mission is to bring some of the best teachers from around the world to the U.S. to share their cultural experiences. As you can read here, our goal is to strengthen K 12 education by discovering and empowering the world's best international teachers in order to facilitate authentic cultural exchange. While we work with schools across the southern United States, our home office is in the mountains of North Carolina, which you can see in the photo on your screen. We would love to know where you are from too, so please take the time to tell us in the comments. And wherever you are joining us from, thank you so much for watching. The EPI process is made up of these 6 steps. First, you fill out an application to determine your program eligibility. Then your application is moved to approved and you become eligible for school interviews. After completing a successful school interview, you become placed in a U.S. school. You then prepare for arrival and orientation in the U.S., and you become an official EPI program member. You will spend 3 years in the USA as an EPI teacher, then you will return to your home country to become a cultural ambassador around the world. So the first step in the EPI process is the application. EPI's application process is thorough and it does a few important things for you. First, filling out the application creates a professional profile for schools to look at when they are considering teachers for interviews. We also use the information you provide on the application to decide whether or not you meet our eligibility requirements. Some of the requirements for being an EPI teacher are that you are currently teaching, you have 2 years full-time teaching experience, and you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. EPI's application helps you collect the documents that you will need to apply for a visa, travel to the United States, and obtain a teaching license. You will also have 2 online interviews with EPI team members. The team will ask you questions about your teaching experience, classroom management, and lesson planning, as well as other topics that prove your eligibility and qualifications. After the interviews, you will be asked to provide proof of employment and credentials. Once you have uploaded all of your documents and passed 2 EPI interviews, you are moved to the approved stage. Being an approved means that your application with EPI is complete, you have passed a background check, you meet our requirements, and that you are now eligible for school interviews. As a candidate and approved, your application becomes a professional profile that is available to U.S. schools. They will look through the applications of all of our teachers and approve to choose which ones to interview over a video call. If the interview goes well and the school is interested in working with you, you will be placed. Placement means that you have accepted an offer from a school and will be coming to the USA to teach. Teachers who are placed through EPI teach in public, private, and charter schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. As soon as you arrive in the U.S., you will participate in EPI's orientation. During this time, you will learn more about life and education in the U.S., as well as the rules and regulations of the Exchange Visitor Program. Our orientation lasts several days, giving you lots of time to ask questions and prepare for the upcoming school year. After you complete orientation, you become an official EPI program member. As an EPI program member, you will teach in the U.S. for 3 years. During that time, you will have access to 24/7 support from our trained and professional support team. They can help you with everything from culture shock to meeting the needs of struggling learners. The relationship between you and the support team is an important one and will continue throughout your time in the United States. It includes not only orientation and arrival support, but also professional development programs and one-on-one instructional and cultural coaching. Should you need assistance of any kind, the EPI support team is ready to help. Over the years, EPI has developed Launcher Classroom, a compilation of professional development resources for teachers that includes videos, books, and soon a website. Launcher Classroom covers everything from classroom management and student engagement to lesson planning and classroom activities. As an EPI teacher, you will have free access to all of our professional development resources. As an EPI teacher, you will also have the opportunity to share your culture with your students here in the United States through cultural exchange projects. Today, we have a couple of examples of projects our teachers have done in the past. So here is an activity one of our Jamaican teachers organized for her students. For the activity, students in Rochelle's previous school in Jamaica created a presentation on Jamaican culture, including national symbols, food, music, and national heroes, which they then shared with her American students over Skype. Claudia, a Spanish immersion teacher from Mexico, wanted to teach her children about how Mother's Day is celebrated in her home country. She hosted a Mother's Day celebration where her students read poems in Spanish and sang songs for their mothers. After teaching in the United States for 3 years with EPI, you will then return to your home country where you will be able to become a cultural ambassador. After you return, you will be able to share what you have learned about the U.S. with people in your home country, just like you shared your culture while you were here. This is one of the most important steps in the whole process because this is what cultural exchange is all about, building mutual understanding between cultures by sharing your personal experiences. Okay, now we will be taking the time to address questions. If you have not submitted yours yet, please ask them now. We will be answering all of your questions in the comments section today. So here are some of the most common questions we get at EPI. Lots of applicants want to know how long the EPI program is, and we are a 3-year program. People also ask, is there an application fee? The answer is no, there is no application or placement fee. There are other costs associated with your application, such as obtaining your diploma or transcripts, but EPI will never charge you an application or a placement fee. Another question we often get is there an age limit? So no, there is no age limit. As long as you meet our basic requirements, you can join the EPI program regardless of your age. So some of those requirements are that you are currently teaching with at least 2 years full-time teaching experience, you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree, and you have advanced English skills. We also have some other questions that have been on our applicants' minds more recently. Most people want to know, is EPI still accepting applications? So yes, EPI is continuing to accept and process applications. You can apply by visiting our website teachwithepi.com. For more information about what our application process looks like at this time, please email our admissions team at team@teachwithepi.com. Another question that applicants have is, can I put my application on hold? And yes, you are able to start your application and later put it on hold if you need to. There is no obligation to continue once you have started. You can then choose to resume your application at a time that is better for you and your personal situation. Finally, our applicants have been wondering, how does EPI support teachers during times of uncertainty or emergencies? So we always prioritize the safety of our program members and provide support for any situations that may arise while they're in the United States. For example, since the outbreak of COVID-19, we have been monitoring the situation, providing detailed guidance for our teachers, and operating at a normal capacity so that we can be available for all of our program members. So now that you know more about our process, the question is, how do you apply? The first step is to go to our website, teachwithepi.com, and select the Apply button. After you answer the eligibility question and click submit, you will be able to make an account with your email address and start your application. If you have started your application but have questions, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com. To end today's presentation, I would like to share this quote that illustrates the importance of an international education. J. William Fulbright was a U.S. Senator and the founder of the Fulbright Program. He said, "There is a multiplier effect in international education, and it carries the possibility, the only real possibility, of changing our manner of thinking about the world and therefore of changing the world." Here at EPI, we understand how important it is to provide students with a global perspective, and we are so excited to give both of you the opportunity to experience authentic cultural exchange. Okay, that's all for today, everyone. If you're interested in our upcoming webinars, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars and sign up for our mailing list. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook to hear about our upcoming events, as well as to hear more from our current teachers. If you have any more questions, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thanks for joining us and have a great day.